Microsoft is getting ready to release the next major version of Windows 10. Windows insiders may recognize this update as 20H1, or as we now know it, Windows 10 version 2004. This update will likely be released to all Windows 10 devices in the coming weeks via Windows Update. Although this update isn't quite as significant as some previous releases, it's still a considerable advancement from the last version of Windows 10. Hey there everybody, it's me Cody from onmicrosoft.com, where today we'll be taking a look at some of the new features in Windows 10 version 2004. In a previous release of Windows 10, Microsoft separated Cortana from the Windows search bar so that they could focus on improving the Windows search experience. Cortana, on the other hand, was severely neglected and lost much of her previous functionality. However, Windows 10 version 2004 is bringing much of that functionality back. Microsoft is rebranding Cortana to a, quote, personal productivity assistant. From now on, Microsoft will focus on integrating Cortana into Microsoft 365 workflows. As for her appearance in this release of Windows 10, Cortana is now a standalone app. When you click the Cortana icon on the taskbar, she will now open as a separate window, like a regular Windows app. This new app features a redesigned user interface that more closely resembles how Cortana appeared when Windows 10 first released. For instance, you can type to Cortana again. This is an option that disappeared in the last release of Windows 10. Additionally, all of Cortana's settings can now only be found in the app itself, as Cortana no longer has a dedicated page in the Windows settings. Windows Search itself has received several updates during the development of Windows 10 version 2004. However, they aren't really part of the update itself. Windows users will find many of these changes already in place in earlier versions of Windows 10. Along the bottom of the search UI, Microsoft added a selection of quick searches which help you discover up-to-date information from the web. Quick searches include links to the current weather, news, and other information relevant to daily life. Also, a reverse search button is now present on the Windows search page. Visual search is a reverse image search feature that has been present in Bing for several years. Microsoft is now integrating this feature into several of its products, including Windows Photos and Windows Search. Clicking the visual search button on the Windows search page will let you snip a section of your screen, which it'll then use to find similar images online. Finally, Windows Search now has a better spell correction algorithm for app and settings searches. Windows will do a better job at returning local search results for apps and settings whose names you've misspelled in the search bar. For instance, Apitten will bring up the Paint app, and Calculator will bring up the Calculator app instead of a web result suggesting a correction to your typo. Like Windows Search, many of the included apps in Windows 10 have received updates during the development of version 2004. For example, an update to the Windows Calculator added a button that can pin a smaller version of the calculator that'll always stay on top of other windows. Also, you may have noticed that many of the app icons look different now. These changes are part of a gradual transition in design language Microsoft is undertaking at the moment. We're not entirely sure when or if Microsoft will complete updating all of its app icons in Windows 10 to this new style. Despite neglecting to update its icon for over 8 years, Task Manager continues to receive frequent feature updates, as we all know. In Windows 10 version 2004, you can now check the temperature of your graphics card in the Performance tab under GPU. Of course, you can only see this if your PC has dedicated graphics. Another interesting feature intended for gamers is the new performance overlays in the Windows game bar. Using the keyboard shortcut Windows key plus G in an open game, the game bar will appear with various sections like Capture and Performance. If you open and pin the Performance tab, your CPU, GPU, RAM, and FPS stats will remain visible over any open game. So it's sort of like a little mini task manager that you can always keep open, which is kind of nice. Speaking of keyboard shortcuts, the keyboard shortcut Windows key plus period, which has been in Windows for several updates now, will open the emoji panel, which was added again in a previous release. In addition to all of the emoji, you can also insert symbols and Cowmoji, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, and version 2004 introduces several new Cowmoji, I'll just stick with that pronunciation, which you can explore and check out for yourself. Moving on, if there is one thing you can always count on with a new release of Windows 10, it's new features coming to the Windows settings. Windows 10 2004 continues the long quest of moving pieces from the control panel over to the Windows settings. In the Network and Internet section, Microsoft updated the Network Status page with a new design that highlights networks you're currently connected to on your PC. From this page, you can also view data usage and set data limits for your networks individually. Additionally, Windows 10 version 2004 will now let users control how much internet bandwidth Windows Update can use in the background. You can navigate to Update and Security, Delivery Optimization, Advanced Options, and configure the settings here. Elsewhere, you can now change the pointer speed of your mouse directly from the Windows settings. Previously, you had to click on a link that would redirect you to an old control panel page to change this. Additionally, in the Ease of Access section in the Windows settings, cursor and pointer have been separated into their own pages. On the Text Cursor page, you'll find the new Cursor Indicator settings. With these new settings, you can make the cursor more visible with colored highlights in addition to the thickness of the cursor. Moving over to the Accounts and Sign-In section of the Windows settings, we can see some new settings in the sign-in options. Windows 10 lets you set up different methods for signing into your PC, including a password, PIN, face, and fingerprint unlock. Until now, the password option was always displayed on the lock screen in addition to other sign-in methods that you've set up. In Windows 10 2004, you can now disable password login from the lock screen, requiring only a Windows Hello PIN, face, or fingerprint unlock to sign in. You can configure these settings by navigating to Accounts and Sign-In options. To complement these new sign-in changes, Microsoft is allowing Windows Hello Sign-In, including PIN, biometric, fingerprint, face, etc., to work when using Windows in Safe Mode. For those who don't know, Safe Mode is a feature that starts Windows with a limited set of drivers and features, which can be useful for troubleshooting and diagnosing issues on your PC. When you sign out or shut down your Windows PC with apps running, Windows will attempt to reopen those apps when you sign back in. In Windows 10 version 2004, EWP apps will now be able to restart automatically in addition to the existing list of registered legacy desktop apps, which were able to do so previously. You can find this setting under Accounts and Sign-In options. When resetting your PC from the Windows settings, you can now choose to have your PC reset via a cloud download, which downloads a fresh copy of Windows 10 from Microsoft to reinstall on your PC, rather than using a copy already installed on your PC. This option can be useful for achieving a cleaner, installation of Windows. Finally, Windows 10 version 2004 makes it easier to configure how you receive notifications on your PC. When a notification toast appears, it'll have a little settings button now. This settings button will let you disable notifications from that app entirely, or view additional options for notifications from this app in the Windows settings. Speaking of notifications, SwiftPair is a feature supported by many Microsoft Bluetooth accessories. In Windows 10 version 2004, connecting a supported SwiftPair device is now easier than before. Simply press and hold the Bluetooth button on your accessory, and a notification will appear on your PC, prompting you to connect that device. By clicking Connect, your device will connect to your PC without any extra steps. There are many more changes to this release of Windows 10, including extended language and accessibility support and major improvements to the Windows subsystem for Linux 2. You can find more detailed information about all of these features in blog posts from the engineers at Microsoft. Apart from the small list of new features, Windows 10 version 2004 enhances Windows 10 security and reliability. This update will begin rolling out to the general public sometime after the year 2004. When that time comes, you can get it by checking for updates in the Windows Update section of the Windows settings. This has been me, Cody, from OnMicrosoft.com. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and check out OnMicrosoft.com for more info. Thank you, goodbye.